Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Kat. So as a graduate student or just as a student in general, you struggle how to manage your time efficiently, right? So in this video, I really want to talk about how I managed my time back then in grad school to, efficiently conducting multiple experiments at the same time, multiple projects at the same time. So if you like my video so far, please hit the like button and subscribe so you can better support my videos and I can better serve you by providing high quality content as well. So let's get started. So I think to manage your time efficiently, planning is everything, at least to me. So I think Google Calendar is definitely my best friend in grad school. So I will have my Google Calendar on my laptop, okay? Every night I visit it. That's my best friend. So what I do every night, first you think what are the main goals tomorrow? It can be you want to do a big experiment tomorrow. You might have a big test tomorrow. You might want to, have dinner with your family or your friends. So, list all the main goals first, okay? So now, okay, so I want to do an experiment, let's say 8 to 12. And then I want to do the next experiment 12 to 4, right? Wrong. You need some time between your experiments, right? So you wanna, so for example, you are thinking about a big experiment starting from 9 to 10 an hour, or you want to do experiment 9 to 12 for 3 hours, okay? So you really want to plan your day the night before. As soon as you find out your main goals, then you can allocate your time to achieve those goals, right? So for example, you have 2 experiments, 1 test, and a dinner plan, okay? So you will say, I will have to get up at 7 o'clock in the morning, be in the lab at 8, finish my experiment by 10. So because my exam started at 10:30, ends at noon, I will have an hour lunch break, right? And then I have another experiment in the afternoon, followed by my dinner at 6:30 p.m. So you really wanna, on your Google Calendar or whatever calendar you like, to plan out your day the night before. So when you're planning your day, now you know, tomorrow I have to use a qPCR machine, which is shared across 3 labs. I have to reserve it. Reserve it now. Okay, tomorrow we're going to dine in this restaurant. Make a reservation at 6:30. So now you're really doing things to manage your time more efficiently by putting them in the designated time spots. And the one thing I want to definitely remind you here is don't plan too many things in a day. You will never finish it, right? Really have a realistic goal, okay? You don't think, oh, tomorrow I'm gonna run 8 Western blots, 5 qPCR plates, go to mouse room, plan everything. There's no way that you can do everything on the same day. So you really want to have a realistic goal. So on top of being realistic on your experiments, also you want to allocate some spare time between experiments. Because things can happen. Let's say you spilled a bottle of reagents, you have to remake it, or somebody might borrow your reagents and that person didn't tell you, now you have to remake it. Or the machine is reserved, you can't do that experiment. Or somebody just steal your slots of the machine that you reserved. These kind of things you have to check. So that's why I think you should allocate, let's say half an hour between experiments in case something happens. And I think that is very critical because a lot of people are not being realistic. They think, oh, I can do so many things, nothing's gonna go bad, everything's gonna go as planned. And I think if you're just first year students, I would give you a heads up. You don't have that much experience. But if you're senior graduate students, well, then I'm telling you, maybe your experiments are going too smoothly these days. Maybe sometimes your experiment didn't work because you didn't take your time to plan experiments to execute it. Another thing that I want to say is really minimize your distractions. Okay? I'm not only talking about when you're doing experiments, don't be on Facebook, don't be on Instagram, don't be on TikTok, those distractions that you can manage. But also, your lab members. sometimes if you're doing experiments, right, a lab member can by, he or she might have some questions. If it is short, if it is just can be resolved in a couple minutes, you definitely, talk to her or him, really trying to help. But if a lab member just, comes by and they wanna, chat with you, wanna gossip with you about certain things, or, have an idea about where you should go for lunch, or, do you wanna grab a coffee, just chill, or, I don't know, random things, okay? Say no, please. Well, if you have time, if you have the whole afternoon to waste, which I don't think you should do that in the lab, but if you do have that time, fine, right? You can go grab a coffee, you can chat with them for a couple hours. But if you plan everything the night before and then your day is pretty packed, please just don't be a nice person. Just, tell him or her saying, I have an urgent experiment, or, I have something going on right now. I can catch up with you, maybe in 3 hours when I have time. Whenever you have this empty slot in your calendar, you should allocate those time with your friends. But you should not be disrupted during experiments, okay? You should not be nice at every minute, okay? I think we should all be a good lab citizen by helping each other, but also respect each other, right? When you are in the experiments, other people should know, and then they should find a better time to talk to you. Or if other people are in experiment, you don't want to just go show up and then, chat with them, right? I think this is the foundation of being a good lab member. Don't disturb other people when they're in the experiment. That's why you should say no to others if, they just want to chat with you. And that is the biggest distraction I'm talking about, okay? And another thing I want to say is about lunch. I understand everybody has different preference. Somebody can cook, somebody cannot cook, somebody prefer eating out, somebody prefer, just prep their lunch. I think no matter you are the type of people who prep your lunch or just grab a simple bite, I think it should be done relatively quickly. I'm not talking about, 5 minutes lunch. I'm talking about you should make it less than an hour. Does that make sense? I know, if I have European audiences, you guys might be more chill, you have 2-3 hours of lunch. I'm okay with that, if all your friends are like this. But it's just my opinion, okay? Just my opinion, no offense. I think when you're in the lab, you should maximize the time of working. When you're off the lab, you can spend all the time to social, to have a beer with people, to have nice meal with your friends. That's definitely fine with me. I mean, I'm the person who's, advocating for work-life balance, right? But when you're in the lab, just please, really maximize your efficiency in the lab and get out. Get out of the lab, do whatever you want. Go for a hike, go for a drink, do whatever. But while you're in the lab, really stick with your plan. Otherwise, what's the point of planning the night before, right? That's why on the day, minimize the distractions, really trying to focus on what you should do in the lab, and then get out from the lab. Unless your best friend is in the lab, I think just to cultivate a better lab culture, chit-chat or gossip too much in the lab might interfere with your work, with your lab members' work, mess up with everybody's work. And then, at the end of the day, I definitely recommend you to rewind and relax, okay? Give an hour or two just to yourself, if you're introvert, to recharge, focus and, rest. If you're extrovert, grab a beer, grab a friend, chat, and I think that probably is the best way for an extrovert to recharge as well. So really find your own way to, relax in the evening. And then that night, what is the biggest thing? Plan the next day, right? And just like I said, pull out your calendar again, think about what's the main goals for the next day, and just repeat. So on the day that you have to work, I think the biggest problem everybody has is to wake up on time, right? So if you guys are interested, I will make a video about how to wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning, and as a person who needs 7 or 8 hours of sleep. Wake up early, and then just go as planned. Don't get distracted, and then you will manage your time efficiently. After a month or two, you have this habit of waking up early, stick to plans, make your plan night, then I think you're good to go. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know if you have any questions or comments down below, and I will check them as soon as possible. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.